There's a specific kind of person who feels most alive when the world starts freezing over. When the sky turns gray and the streets empty out, something inside them quietly settles. Most people assume they simply tolerate the cold. But psychologists have started to notice something stranger. Winter lovers aren't tolerating anything. They're recovering. Because for a specific type of nervous system, summer isn't joy. Summer is noise. And winter is the first time all year the world finally goes quiet enough to hear yourself think. There's a reason the sound of snow feels different. Fresh snow physically absorbs sound waves. The world isn't just quieter in your head, it's quieter in reality. And for a brain that's been overstimulated for months, that silence hits like medicine. Neuroscientists call this sensory downregulation, the nervous system finally exhaling. But that's only the surface. Because the deeper reason some people love winter has almost nothing to do with the weather. It has to do with permission. Summer demands something from you: energy, plans, presence, performance. Winter is one of the only seasons in modern life that gives you permission to disappear. Psychologists have a term for this: social withdrawal without social guilt. In winter, canceling plans isn't a failure. It's expected, even respected. For people who normally carry an invisible weight of keeping up, this is the first real break they get all year. And that relief goes deeper than most people realize. But here's where it gets stranger. Winter doesn't just calm the body, it changes the way the mind thinks. Cold weather forces the brain into a slower, more deliberate mode of thought. Studies on cognition suggest people make more careful, reflective decisions in colder environments. Summer thinking is fast, loud, impulsive. Winter thinking is quieter, deeper, more honest. The same person can feel like two entirely different people 6 months apart. And this is where something almost invisible happens. Many winter lovers aren't loving the season. They're loving the version of themselves that only appears in it. Because winter strips life down. No plans, no noise, no expectations. What's left is closer to who you actually are. But not everyone experiences winter this way. For some, the darkness pulls them down instead of settling them. And the difference between the two isn't personality, it's something much more specific. Researchers studying seasonal mood patterns have found that winter's effect depends heavily on how a person's nervous system responds to low stimulation. Some brains crave it, others fear it. For high stimulation brains, silence feels like emptiness. For low stimulation brains, silence feels like home. Winter just happens to be the season that reveals which one you are. And there's something else most people never notice. Winter is the only season that makes warmth feel like an event. A hot drink, a soft blanket, a lit candle. In summer, these things mean nothing. In winter, they become small ceremonies of comfort. Psychologists call this contrast-driven appreciation. The colder the outside world, the more meaning the smallest warmth carries. Winter doesn't just create comfort, it creates the ability to feel it. And maybe that's the quiet truth hidden underneath the whole season. Some people don't love winter because it's beautiful. They love it because it lets them feel things again. The rest of the year moves too fast to feel anything fully. Winter slows everything down until emotion has room to breathe again. So if you're someone who feels strangely at peace when the world turns cold, you're not strange. You're not antisocial. You're not broken. Your nervous system is simply telling the truth about what it needs. And maybe the people who love winter the most are the ones who've been quietly holding their breath through every other season, waiting for the world to finally be gentle with them again. So here's the question worth sitting with. If winter is the season that finally lets you rest, what does that say about the rest of your year? Tell me in the comments. Are you someone who comes alive in winter? Or someone who's just waiting for it to end? I read every response. If this video made you feel understood, consider subscribing. There's a whole library of quiet psychology waiting for you here, the kind that stays with you long after the video ends. Next, we'll explore something even stranger: why some people feel most like themselves at 3 a.m., and what your brain is quietly doing while the rest of the world sleeps.